Hello and welcome back to our state tree series. In the first episode, we gave you a brief overview of state trees, and in this episode, we're going to start taking a look at how to actually make a task for our NPC to walk around randomly. So let's take a look at how this works in the state tree system. Okay, so last time we set up our NPC, we have a state tree, and let's make a new state for this. And we'll call this the wandering state. And the wandering state is going to have its own task to tell the character to wander around. Now, being the AI state tree that it is, it does already have a task in there for move to. If you click on the tasks and add new task, you'll see action move to, which, is there, but we're going to make our own. Okay, just so you can see a bit more about what you can do with it. So let's go ahead and make our own task. I'm going to go to new task. You choose the template for state tree task blueprint base. And we'll call this one wander. And in this task, it looks very much like a task that you would have in, say, like a behavior tree, in the sense that you get more event graph, behavior, variables, functions, all that sort of thing. And what you want to do is go to functions and override, and you've got to choose enter state. As you can see, there's a few others. But we're going to choose enter state. And on enter state, we want to call the AI move to. So AI move to. Now, the AI to move to needs to know which pawn is it going to move. Now, at the moment, we don't have access to anything, really. This transition here, if you break this open, you'll see what this has. It just has information about what state came previously, what state will go next, and so on. But we don't need this, so let's delete that. So the pawn here, we're going to drag out and promote to variable. And there you go, pawn. And I want to assign that the actor reference that's inside the state tree. Now, the way we do that is we have to make this editable. File that. And then we're going to go over to our state tree here. And let's say we add it now as a task to our wandering. It's not done yet, but let's just add it in anyway. So we go to tasks, add, and you'll see in there st wander. And there's our pawn. And it's at the moment we can pick one from the scene if we have one already in the scene. Again, something that you can't do with behavior trees. But we actually want to use the one that's in the asset details. We want to use this one, the actor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the little blue icon on the right here. I'm going to drop down and you'll see they've got global parameters for actor. That is in reference to this actor here. So click on that and that's assigning the actor there. Brilliant. Let's go back to our wander task. So that's the pawn that's going to be moving around. Destination is going to be found using the random point in reachable radius. And we'll put that into destination there. Now, the origin for this will be the pawn. We'll drag that back out again. Get their location. And the radius here will promote to a variable as well. And I'll make that one editable as well. If I go back to my state tree, you can see now radius is also selectable over here too. I can change the default back on the task. So let's say 1000. And it'll appear here too. But I can customize it however I want. It's all here. Now to actually end the task on success, we want to do finish task. And you can determine whether it succeeds or not. So we're going to have two of those, one for success and one for fail. But obviously for the fail one, we're going to turn off succeeded. Okay. So that's our NPC wandering around. Okay, done. And let's test it out. There you go. Now it's not animating, but that's due to the animation blueprint. But there you go, he is now wandering around happily. Let's change his animation blueprint because that's going to annoy me. If you don't know, if you try use ABP Mani for AI, it doesn't like it. The reason why it doesn't like it is because Epic are making use of acceleration, and acceleration comes from input, which you don't have when you're AI. So we're just going to turn it off and just tick the box. And now he should run around like normal. Okay, so now let's get him to like maybe pause and wait at the end there. And that could be done in a separate task if we wanted to. Totally could do that. But we can also do it inside the same wandering task here and just give it another parameter. let's go back to our ST Wander. So before it finishes the task, we want it to wait. So we're going to put a little delay or timer in here. So let's do a set timer by function name. And the function name here is going to end wait. And the time, let me take the finish task off. The time is going to be a variable, which we'll call wait time. We'll make it editable, and we'll give it a default value of, say, 1.5 seconds. Now, end wait is going to be a function we're going to make. So let's go to functions, add a new function called end wait. And in there, we're going to put in this finished task. Once again, if we go back to our state tree, we can customize the wait time because we made it editable. So now he'll run around, he'll wait, and move around again. Okay. Looking pretty good. So let's talk about transitioning. Let's say I want him to transition into a different state based upon various circumstances. So let's say we are going to do a state in here where we want him to, let's say, just get him to jump. Okay, so it's just going to jump on the spot. So what we're going to do is we are going to create the command for that. So let's go ahead and create a new task. And do task jump. I just realized my naming conventions are broken, but never mind. We'll carry on. Task jump here. And once again, we're going to override the enter state here. And I'm going to have the state in here, get the character actor in. So for that, I need a variable. So the variable here will be the pawn. That would be pawn type. Make it editable. And that's going to come into the state tree. Remember, it's going to come from this actor here. Now, to make a character jump, though, it can't be a pawn. It needs to be a character. So on enter state here, we're going to cast to character. Plug that in. And then from character here, we're going to tell him to jump. And we'll tell it to delay a few moments before it finishes the task. Let's say it does 2-second delay. Finish task. Succeed. Okay, so let's now go back to the state tree. So that's wandering. Okay, so when wandering's finished, let's say I want to do a different state. So I'm going to add another state in here, and we'll do jumping state. And we'll have another one for idle. And on the wandering state, I want it to transition over to either jumping or idle. Okay, it's going to choose one or the other. And that'll be based upon a different circumstances. Okay, it's going to be based upon a different like randomization. But let's put a jumping task on jumping here. Task, jump. And the pawn here is going to be our actor. And then to make it pick which one I want to go into, I can go back to wandering, go to transitions, and on state completed, I can make it choose which state to go to. I can even make go to next state, the next selectable state, and just say whether it succeeded or whether it failed. But I want it to go to jumping. Okay, let's say I want it to go to jumping here. But I only want this to happen if the condition is true. Okay, so we're going to go to condition. We do a bool compare. And the boolean here is going to check the input, which would be here, against the right, which is the output. Well, not output, but the comparator. So I want a value to be true. So right here, we're going to turn on. And the left here is going to be a new variable. Now, I can make a new variable parameter if I wanted to, but what I'm going to do is actually going to get it from my wandering task. So I can go to my st wander here. And on end wait, I can determine whether or not it should transition, basically. So on end wait here, we're going to do another variable. Should jump. We're going to set that here and do a random bool. Then end the task. Back in my state tree, I can now choose, if I go to the left in, click on a little arrow on the right, go to ST Wonder, and you should see you've got options now. You can go should jump. So when should jump is true, that's when it should do the jumping one. Okay. And if we want it to go to idle instead, then we just do it again, but obviously make it false or whatever you want there. But we don't need to worry about that because we've got idle's got not doing anything anyway. So we should see half the time it will choose to randomly jump around. So just do that. There we go. He just randomly jumps. So obviously not very useful for what games you're making probably, but hopefully it gives you an idea of just how things work with the state tree and how you can transfer information from one state to another state and use them for conditions and transitions. The important thing to note about state trees is that it's just another tool in your toolbox. It's not a this is the answer for this particular problem. It's just another tool to use if you want to answer any particular problem you may have. Can't speak, but it's totally fine. So you can use it for absolutely anything. It's just another thing you can use. We're going to give you some more use cases. Let me carry on with the AI side of things, and then we're going to go into more object-based stuff too. But let's start off with getting AI to recognize us and react to, say, perception and senses. So you can watch the next episode right now over on patreon.com/Ryan Laley, where you can find all my videos early from just $1 a month. A massive thank you to all our patrons and YouTube members for their continued support in the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.